Preparing. Yay. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Happy Friday. I am popping in here with an impromptu Facebook Live because I want to introduce you to one of my very dear friends, Amanda. And we're going to talk a little bit about how we get to create a sustainable, profitable business by making sure that our health is dialed in. Because we know when we don't feel good, it actually creates our business. So it creates dysfunction, right? When we're out of balance in areas of our health or in our life, it actually creates out of balance in our business too. So I asked Amanda if she would please come in and just kind of share some tips that she might have for us to, bring our health and our wellness, have it be optimal for us. So thank you, Amanda.
My pleasure. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me here. It's always fun to connect with you. I know we talk about these things so often because they're so intertwined, right? Our own health and vitality and alignment. I think it's living in congruence, and really, in order for us to serve in the highest capacity and to be able to draw in and attract those clients that are seeking what it is that we can help support them with, then we get to be living our walk, right? It's like, yes, we get to model that first.
Totally. And I know that, a lot of your clients are actually successful entrepreneurs.
Oh, yeah.
Multimillionaires even, that are creating amazing businesses. And this is a piece that they're like, you know what, I need to make sure that I'm dialed in on this part too.
Yeah. And I love that, Chris. I'm going to share something that is, I think, a game changer. And you and I both know the value of being in supportive communities and having that loving accountability in that space. Because like you said, I work with many highly successful women they're already very aware of healthy changes. They, are intentional with their nutrition. They recognize that being healthy is critical to their success as a business owner. And it's still a whole nother level of, I guess, just continued momentum and progress and focus when we have that support around us. Right. So even though we've all, and many, it's funny because several of my clients I'm thinking of right now, they have actually been through health coaching programs themselves. So it's not like they haven't heard this information or brand new, but there's still a difference when it comes to having that external partner, right? Who's going to help with the accountability, who's going to kind of be another source of creativity and investigation and keep it top of mind. So keep you engaged in the presence of your own health journey. So I think one of the key things is to really have a process in place where what's going on in your body routinely. So I love to, whether it be most of us, we do an annual, like kind of a check-in with our doctor and doing some lab work and so on and so forth. So having that reviewed on a regular basis, at least annually, if not, semi-annually, but even going through like a symptom checklist and kind of looking at specifically some of the symptoms that come up when we have insulin resistance, or when we have low thyroid function, or when we have suboptimal blood sugar balance and low progesterone. Like what different symptoms could be signaling, that foundational imbalance in our hormone levels, so that we can stay ahead of the curve and be proactive.
I love that, because one of the things that when you and I, chatted about my own health and wellness was, the idea of the river, right? And the doctors at the bottom. Will you share that? Because that was like so profound, because even though, I've got a background in functional nutrition and, you are a functional nutrition specialist. Like, I share a little bit also about kind of like what makes you different than just a health coach. And also this, amazing analogy with what is going on downstream.
The river downstream. This is the story that I love. I actually learned this from one of my mentors, who is the founder of the School of Applied Functional Medicine. And so I have a applied functional medicine certification. It's essentially like a master's level training. It's a 3-year program where it's really about the root cause resolution, functional medicine science, which is, custom, individual, client centric. So it's not like blanket statements. It's unique to the person and their life and their experience. And it's looking at blockages, impairments, and depletions in our bodily systems and what affects things upstream. So the analogy from Tracy that she uses is, let's say, a typical, health professional, whether it be a nurse practitioner or even an MD, the typical approach is like, okay, let's say I have a job and my job is to go to the side of the river each day and help to repair all of these broken boats and bodies that we see day after day, right? People are coming down and they have broken ribs, they have broken bones, they have scratches and need stitches, and the boats are capsized and have holes in them. And like, oh my gosh, all of this stuff needs our urgent attention.
Mhm.
And so I get to work and I'm busy doing all the things I'm doing. And after a period of several weeks or months, it may just feel like it's a perpetual, never-ending cycle. And you start to question like, well, what else can we do? It doesn't seem like we're solving the problem here. We just have more of the same work every day. Okay, maybe I can make a bigger clinic, or maybe we can make this huge repair shed to fix the boats faster or at a higher degree, a higher rate. And that's something. But then after a while, again, still every day, finding those broken boats, those bodies, those, stitches and everything that needs to happen, you start to question like, what is causing this? Maybe the water is just dangerous and no one should go in the water. And then you think to walk upstream, and little did we know, 100 yards upstream, there is a precipitous waterfall plunge, right? And then, oh my gosh, so that's why these people are ending up hurt and the damage to the boats and they're capsizing and everything. And so you wonder like, oh my goodness, so we must let people know if they're coming down the river to be on alert. Don't get out of the water. Like, this isn't safe waters. And then if you go further upstream, you can see that there is no signage, no postage. And in fact, as you're observing, there's some people who are actually navigating this terrain adeptly, and we never see them. They actually have different boats. They have different equipment. They have life jackets. They have paddles. They have helmets on. In fact, they look like they're going over this plunge of the waterfall and even enjoying themselves and having a little bit of exhilaration and fun. But those aren't the people that you're seeing when you're repairing the broken boats and bodies, right? So the analogy here is the disease is the broken boat and body. That's something you have to treat and urgently take care of. But when we go upstream, and if we start to recognize that it's a matter of awareness, preparation, and skill, then you can actually navigate what can be a little bit of a challenging terrain, survive it, maybe even thrive through it. And many of us, especially as business owners, we have challenging terrain in our life, right? We are not going the safe and easy route, being an entrepreneur and being on your own to create your business. We are not necessarily like what I'm going to call the low stress choice in our life, right? So that means we need a higher skill set. We need higher preparation, and to be able to navigate that with ease and grace and optimal vitality.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. Yes. And you do so much more in your business and in your programs, because you're also doing some testing. So like, you're getting really specific. Like, this isn't just add more veggies on your plate. Well, that is absolutely going to be amazing. We all should eat more veggies. Yes. But you're really doing like extra testing. Can you share a little bit more about what makes you special than just someone who's like, yeah, let's just eat a balanced plate today?
Sure. And I'll kind of go into, I think for me, it's really important to talk about both aspects, because we definitely do. We, in our program, the Natural Hormone Solution, with all of our clients, we look at some hormone testing, and different than just the blood levels of our hormones, because hormones are super potent. In fact, it's about the equivalent of putting a cup in a large swimming pool size, like huge. So they fluctuate all the time. So even when we draw blood and see our hormone levels of estrogen and testosterone and progesterone, that is one tiny little snapshot in time. So I like to look at something called a Dutch hormone test, and it gives you a 24-hour urine analysis. So we can see the actual metabolic effects, how your cells are responding to the hormone activity. So we do that. We also do a micronutrient testing. So it helps us, again, to see when you're eating those awesome vegetables and proteins and healthy fats, how much is being absorbed at a cellular level? Do you have adequate amount actually making it to your cell? So again, a little bit deeper layer of analysis, which is critical to give kind of that higher level of support and optimization, rather than just the broad strokes. The other piece, though, Chris, that I think is so critical, because I personally, when I years ago had my autoimmune diagnosis, and then my daughter went through, massive healing journey when she was having 10 to 15 seizures in a day, and that journey. But I remember going to the first naturopathic doctor, love the concept of whole health and holistic, and was really gung ho. At first I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get all the information. I'm not just going to go on the prescription for the rest of my life, and ran thousands of dollars worth of testing, and then went in for one other appointment. He's like, here's the list of all the foods that you have to eliminate. Here's the 15 supplements to start taking, and then come back in 3 months and we'll retest.
Wow.
And it was like, that's massively overwhelming. It's like, okay. And even I was someone like, okay, I'm in this health world. I'm ready to go. And I found myself getting really defeated.
Yeah.
Really resentful of the process, because it seemed like I was, I didn't have like step-by-step skills and tools to be able to navigate that significant of a transition with grace.
Yeah.
And it ended up, in fact, my antibody numbers went up. And so it was even more devastating to be like, this isn't even working. Like, I've been sacrificing and feeling like I'm giving up everything, and it's not even working. So I feel really deeply about, in our program, we do look at the functional medicine labs, and we do give recommendations for perhaps foods and or supplements if it's a fit, but it's much more of a collaboration, because you've got to break it down step by step.
Yeah.
And you know this, Chris, so much of it is getting around and understanding what are those limiting beliefs? What are those mindset patterns and behaviors that we may be even unaware of? They're unconscious, but they're triggering our nervous system to put us in a chronic fight or flight state.
Wow.
Because no healing can happen if you're chronically in sympathetic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I remember, one of the things that I used to, and I still come back to, is, we can't out eat a stressful lifestyle. Like, no matter what we do, like, that has to be a critical component. But I love that you look at it all. Like, I love that you look at it all. You've got a class coming up, a master class coming up, that I wanted to share with everybody here. Yes. Can you share about that?
Absolutely. I'm super excited about this. It's called Empowered Health Live, happening on April 5th. It's a 2-hour workshop, and it's truly so inspiring. We're going to dive deep in talking about hormone optimization and really boosting your energy and mental clarity and focus. Also having some collaborative guest experts who are going to be sharing their wisdom and their expertise. Dr. Nicole Rivera is going to be talking about the link between gut health and mental health. Amanda Weil is going to be talking about owning your style and feeling amazing in your clothes so that you can have that confidence.
I love Amanda.
Yeah, so many things. And Rachel Mark is an acupuncturist out of Canada. She's going to be sharing, again, her expertise and experience about key nutrients that help to support our vitality. And Tara Nolan is she has such a powerful practice of yoga and tapping into your passion so that you live with that vitality and that energy. So it's an awesome event with many amazing women who are going to share their number one key strategy to live your best life.
Oh, I love this. Empowered Health Live. Okay, everybody, I'm going to leave the link here. I'm definitely going to be there. So join us on April 5th. So it's 2 hours. It's going to be an amazing masterclass. And Amanda, how can people get in touch with you if they want to learn a little bit more about optimizing their own health and really having, you as a guide to look upstream with them and figure out like what is going on? Yeah,
absolutely. They can go to hinmanholistic.com. And in there, if you look at there under the resources, there is a free hormone health assessment. So I think that's a great starting point. If you're curious about what's going on in my body or what could be at play, that's a great place to start. But Hinman Holistic is the website.
hinmanholistic.com. Amazing. And then I will grab the link from you and we'll just post it here in the Facebook group for the live master.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. I'm so excited to share you with everybody.
Yes. Thanks, Chris. It's always so fun to connect with you and to be able to share.
Yay. Awesome. Thank you.